meeting of the Board of Works for February 8th to order. And because this is the virtual meeting, we will proceed directly to the roll call. Clerk Treasurer Aldrich, will you call the roll, please?
Sure. Dick Bradshaw.
Present.
Cameron Yates.
Present.
And Anita Werling.
Present. So really the only order of business for this evening is to review the claims for the Small Business Resilience Grant recipients that were approved by the council at their February 1st meeting. The total amount of the claims are $147,180. Because I would like to abstain on the claims for two of the organizations, and Dick Bradshaw has expressed the same. I move that we approve claims totaling $132,180, excluding in this vote the Delphi Opera House and the Delphi Preservation Society and T&T Pizza. Is there a second?
Second.
Any questions or discussion?
I had one question. All the claims weren't for 5,000. Exactly why were they different?
They were for the full amount as requested by the application. So not all of the businesses requested the full amount.
Were in the instructions, were they instructed to, I don't know, how did they come up with those numbers?
That was based on what they felt their needs were to cover the items that qualify for reimbursement by the grant, or that the grant can apply towards. So if they were using rent, for example, and supplies and things of that sort, and didn't have more than a couple of $1,000s that they would spend in a couple of month period, then they reduce their amount accordingly. So most of the businesses, of course, asked for the full amount, but the council agreed to award the full amount requested by the applicants.
Thank
Does
you.
that answer your?
Yes.
Okay, so we have a motion and a second. Since we're conducting the meeting virtually, we'll proceed to vote by roll call. When called, please indicate whether your vote is an aye, nay, or abstain. So in the matter of accepting the claims totaling $132,180, that is all grant awards other than the Delphi Opera House, the Delphi Preservation Society, and T&T Pizza. Dick Bradshaw, how do you vote?
Aye.
And Cameron?
I'm an aye.
And I'm an aye. So motion carries. I move to accept the claims for Delphi Opera House and the Delphi Preservation Society totaling $10,000. Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Moving to the vote. Dick Bradshaw,
Aye.
Cameron Yates,
I'm an aye.
and I abstain. Motion carries. I move to accept the claim for T&T Pizza totaling $5,000. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Any discussion? Dick Bradshaw,
Abstain.
Cameron Yates,
I'm an aye.
and I am an aye. Motion carries. So that really ends the business portion of our meeting. Miscellaneous business, are there any board comments or requests? Dick Bradshaw,
No.
Cameron,
I have none.
Clerk Treasurer Aldrich,
None.
any public comment? Is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Got one comment down there.
transfers been made into the promotional line and edit? Yes, I believe that that's the case. Leanne?
No, I haven't done it.
So they will be made though before the checks are written, is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. Um,
When are the
Actually,
checks scheduled?
as soon as the transfer is made,
Okay.
we'll be ready to cut checks, once that is done. Is that correct, Leanne?
Yeah, except I can actually write the checks out of edit and leave it with a negative amount until we do the additional appropriation. The transfer does not have to be done at this time.
I see.
In the minutes that you are going to pay it out of edit, it's in the minutes that you're going to do an additional appropriation. So that can be done that way.
Without actually doing the transfer.
Yes, correct.
Okay.
We've had this issue before with State Board with negative line items when it's affected by grants or specifically things you're doing until the reimbursement comes or the transfer of funds, and that's perfectly fine.
Okay. Any other questions from the public?
Yes, when will the businesses they'll get their checks as soon as we cut them, correct?
Yes, they need to sign their grant agreement, which, has certain terms on it, that they agree to provide receipts and so forth, and 2 monthly reports. So when they get their check and sign that grant agreement, basically that would happen at the same time. And we anticipate that will be this week.
Will the money that is taken out of edit be put back into edit? Other than the 50,000?
No, what we spend out of edit, we are using additional funds to do that.
But 50,000 was to come out of edit, and the remainder was to come out of the grant, correct?
That's correct.
So you're taking it all out of edit, but will you replace that when you get the grant?
No, the grant will not cover it. That's the part that's coming out of edit is the part, the people that do not qualify for the grant.
So
Okay.
the other line item, Dick, is 150, and that is for the COVID, it's basically for COVID grants, and that's where the Okra money goes. Leanne, am I correct that have we received that reimbursement? I don't believe we will until we have copies of the checks to provide to Kirksey. Is that correct?
That is correct.
So we
I
pay
think
that.
oh, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
No, I think that's what, I can't think of her name now. That's what Sean was referring to today. As soon as the checks were written, she needed copies of them so she can send it in.
And then they'll ask us to request the release of funds from Okra. That money will basically come back into that 150 account and reimburse whatever money the city has expended for those who qualify for the Okra dollars.
Perfect, yes.
$50,000 will be paid out of local funds and will not be reimbursed.
Correct. So additionally what that's coming from is some of the surplus that you have built up in edit.
How come only 2 people applied weren't qualified, and what would be the reasons for that?
There were several businesses that did not qualify for Okra. And it could be that in order to qualify for the Okra dollars, you have to have a W-2 for your business. So you have to have an employee. So if you're a sole proprietor and you don't pay yourself out of the business, then you wouldn't have a W-2 to try to qualify for that Okra dollar. So that would be one of the reasons. That's really the primary reason. Most of the businesses that did not submit income verification forms were sole proprietorships.
some of those that were paid from edit, is that correct?
Any of those who did not qualify for the Okra dollars will be paid out of edit.
Okay. That's it for me.
Okay. Any other public comments? Hearing none. We had a motion to adjourn. Did we have a second?
I'll second.
Okay. So without objection, the Board of Public Works and Safety meeting is adjourned at 5:25 p.m. Thank you very much for participating, and Dick, I'm very glad that you were able to get back among the technology geeks.
Well, I wish I could explain why things don't work, but it seems that oftentimes for me they don't, and I've got a clue that it perhaps might be something to do with me.
Well, whatever it is, hopefully you've got the knack now, and we'll see if it works the next time around.
I'm ready.
All right. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you. All right. Good night.
Have a good evening.
Thank you. You too. Thank you.